this.
This is good defense.
Ridiculous scoop shot. Come on.
That's the horse shot. You hit the backyard.
Come on, man.
Looking in for Irving. Irving for the win. Oh my! A southpaw finish from Kyrie.
Guys, before I get further into the video, yes, this was recorded before the Mavericks played against the Golden State Warriors, where they lost the game 104-100. The Mavericks, they've still been playing great basketball, and really, the Warriors, they needed this game more. They're more desperate. They're in play-in purgatory. They're stuck in the play-in, so they're just fighting in their play-in lives to have a shot to make the playoffs. The Mavericks, they're a top 5 seed, so I just want to make that clarification before I get into the video. What's up, everybody on YouTube? AJ Russ back to discuss another video, and today we're going to be talking about why the Dallas Mavericks are low-key the most dangerous team in the upcoming NBA playoffs. Bold statement, I know, right? With all the teams in the Western Conference, of course, how the Minnesota Timberwolves have been playing, Oklahoma City Thunder emerging, teams like the Pelicans who have been competitive this year, and the Clippers who have had their highs and their lows. The Mavericks, especially since the All-Star break, they have been cooking. At the recording of this video, they are the 5th seed in the Western Conference right now, a far cry from where they were around a month ago, in that 7-10 range, but they have been winning a lot recently. They've been playing great basketball, like I said, since the All-Star break, particularly on the defensive end. Before the All-Star break, they ranked 27th in paint protection, and now they're 2nd, I believe. And really, this also can coincide with this video saying that, in my opinion, of course, I don't have a vote or anything like that, but if I were to pick the MVP, it would be Luka Doncic. In the year where, honestly, Joel Embiid would have won the MVP if he didn't get injured, and he is returning this week, so that's a good thing for the 76ers, but really has nothing to do with the MVP race. Luka Doncic, he's been remarkable this year. No one can deny that. We're going to get more in depth with his stats and what he's done, particularly this season. I mean, having a 70-plus point game, insane, bonkers. Dominating teams like we saw against the Houston Rockets, who were on an 11-game winning streak, just really putting that to bed and cooking them. And then just him and his rapport with Kyrie Irving this season. A lot of people were skeptical after how the 2023 season ended, with them having a lottery pick, which ended up being Derek Lively, who has been essential and a key part of this Dallas Mavericks squad. There was just a lot of questions going into this year. Would they really be competitive? But right now, we're seeing that they can potentially win 50 games this season, taking a huge leap. And honestly, I could make the case that this team is better than the 2022 team that made the conference finals. So before I get more in depth with that take saying why the Dallas Mavericks are the most dangerous playoff team in the Western Conference or the Eastern Conference, yeah, I'm saying both conferences, most definitely. Standing on that for sure. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. You know what we post about here: sports, lifestyle, pop culture videos about NFL, NBA, Marvel, DC, all types of different things, cooking videos, shorts, all things like that. So with that being said, let's talk about Luka and the Dallas Mavericks. So one key element why the Dallas Mavericks are the most dangerous playoff team is because how Luka just turns it up in the playoffs. Since his 2nd season in the NBA bubble, when they made the playoffs, we saw the leap that he took from the regular season, and then of course the stop because of COVID, and then going into the bubble where he absolutely dominated the Clippers. I know they lost that series, but he still dominated the freak out of them. So at the young age of 20 years old, in his 2nd season in 2019-20, for the regular season, Luka averaged basically 29 points per game, 9 rebounds, and essentially 9 assists, which is crazy in itself, especially at that young age. But in that 6-game series against the Los Angeles Clippers, he boosted his performance even more, averaging 31 points per game on 10 rebounds and 9 assists, shooting 50% from the field and also 36% from 3. So he was just cooking them, like I said. In the bubble, we saw that playoff ascension at the young age of 21 years old. At that point in the bubble, he was 21 because we know that season went longer. But another example is the 2021 season and the 2022 seasons as well. Now, I will say in the 2021 season, he averaged 28 points per game, but I mean, that's 1 point less than what he did in 2019-20. So I mean, it's all around the same thing in my eyes. Also averaged 8 assists per game and 8 rebounds. 2nd straight All-Star appearance at the age of 21, 22 years old. It even goes beyond that because in the playoffs, he averaged almost 36 points per game, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds in that 1st round series. So that's what I'm talking about right there. I mean, literally that leap that he takes. And one more example for the 2022 season, where they went the farthest in their playoffs so far in Luka's young career. He averaged 28 points per game on 9 rebounds and 9 assists. And then in the postseason, he averaged 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. So like I said, there's always a leap. In this season, oh my goodness, if there's another leap, he'll basically almost be averaging 40 points per game. because in the regular season right now, he's averaging 34 points per game, 9 rebounds, and basically 10 assists. I mean, that is insane. So if there's any trend like there's been in the past few seasons that he made the playoffs, he'll be averaging almost 40. And I didn't even mention the 2023 season. Of course, they missed the playoffs, but he still had great numbers as he did average 32 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. So like I said, he just goes to another level in the playoffs, and in particular against that Phoenix Suns series. We remember in the second round of 2022, he went bonkers, he cooked them. D-Book is one of my favorite players, also Luka is as well, but Luka killed that whole team, especially in that game 7. I'll never forget it, especially the Chris Paul meme.
Is this the dagger?
Yeah, just legendary, I swear. But my point in saying all of that and just talking about these numbers is that Luka, he takes his game to another level when it matters most. And the question throughout Luka's career so far has been the team around him. We did know in that 2022 season, they made the conference finals, but we knew the Warriors were gonna win, and they went on to win the NBA finals that year. And really the Mavericks as an organization, they haven't had great assets and great players around him, but with the trade of Kyrie Irving and then also re-signing him last offseason, that's made a huge difference. And then at the trade deadline particularly, adding in PJ Washington, adding a Daniel Gafford, just for some more size and presence for that team overall. And then you drafted Derek Lively in the first round last year. The team has more depth this season for sure, and you're seeing that come to fruition. And you still have key players like a Maxi Kleber, like a Tim Hardaway Jr., who can give you buckets at times, sometimes streaky, but he can make shots when needed. Dante Exum, he's been a surprising but essential piece of this team this year so far as well. You still have Dwight Powell, who's a solid backup big. I mean, the team has been really productive this season, and like I said, particularly, the team has been really productive in this month stretch so far. And this is the perfect time you want to be playing your best basketball going into April, as it is April now, and the playoffs do start on April 20th. So they're cooking with Crisco right now, in my opinion, and how Kyrie is playing as well, it's scary. We know that he can cook in the playoffs too. And I believe Kyrie, he did miss some time at the beginning of this year, but since then he's been relatively healthy. Knock on wood, of course, because we want him in the postseason to play with Luka to see how far this team can truly go. Also, so looking back at what I'm saying, because I'm telling you, this team is going to be scary in the postseason, no matter who they play against. But Kyrie, he's averaged 25 points per game on 5 assists and 5 rebounds this season. And even though that's less than what he averaged last year, the difference is that it's resulting in wins this season. And also the team overall just has a great rapport and great chemistry. And another element of this conversation as well is that right now, as the seedings are, as the recording of this video, the Mavericks will be playing against the Clippers. Again, played against them in the playoffs in 2020, also in 2021. Like I said, Luka killed them. Clippers do not want that smoke again, I'm telling you. Ty Lue was a great coach. Kawhi is a great player. Paul George, he's one of the great players in our league. James Harden, he can still be productive at times. Russell Westbrook is great in his role in LA. They do not want to see Luka again, and Kyrie now, and how this team is playing. They do not want to see them. I'm telling you, say if the Mavericks were even to slip to 6th place, I think they would kick the Timberwolves, especially with the pending health of Karl-Anthony Towns. Playing against the Thunder, they would beat them as well, in my opinion. I mean, the only team I can definitively say that would beat the Mavericks potentially, and it wouldn't be easy at all, would be the Nuggets, because you have to respect them as the defending champions and how dominant they've been. But besides them, how am I going to say the Thunder will beat the Mavericks with Luka and Kyrie when this current group of the Thunder, with Chet, with Shea, with J-Dub, which don't get me wrong, they're a really freaking good team and a young team that's going to be on the rise for years to come for sure. They haven't experienced that postseason ascension yet, or experience, and Luka's been there. And I know Shea made it in the 2020 bubble, but it's still not the same now. That's 4 years ago, so that tells you how long that's been too. I'm telling you, the Mavericks can beat anyone in the West right now definitively, besides the Nuggets I would say, but even then, it would be a really good series. So before I close out this video, some key things to take away for sure. Moments. Luka performs in these high level moments. No doubt in my eyes that he's going to step up his game even more. And he's been more in shape this year. He's been more engaged defensively too. He's all in and he wants to win. I believe also he's going to be contract extension eligible for like a 5-year, $346 million deal. That's insane. That's almost 70 mil per year. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. But honestly, low-key, he would be worth that though. How he impacts this team. You take Luka off of the Mavericks, even with Kyrie, they're not on anything for real. So I just believe that this team should not be slept on at all, especially how they're playing right now. This is the best time to be playing your best basketball. And they still could jump the Clippers for the 4th seed too. So keep your eyes on that. I do believe that they'll stay in that 4 to 5 range, especially since they jumped the New Orleans Pelicans. But the Mavericks, they're gonna make some noise in the playoffs. I'll eat my words for sure if they don't, but there's no doubt in my eyes that they're gonna be great. And as long as they stay healthy too, that's another component, they're gonna cook. And I wouldn't be surprised if they made the conference finals. You just gotta avoid Denver in that scenario. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think that the Dallas Mavericks are the most dangerous team in the playoffs, that aren't a top 1 to 2 to 3 seed, that could scare one of these top seeds and upset them and potentially make a deep playoff run? I certainly think so. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys watching always. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SwaggyRush. Also on TikTok at SwaggyRush02 for cooking videos, shorts, all things like that. Like I said, this is another video in my NBA playoff preview series, previewing the contenders, previewing playoff threats like the Mavericks, and also previewing play-in teams potentially. So stay tuned for another video later this week. Just more on the way, guys. I appreciate you guys always. April already, man, this year is flying by, but hope it's going amazing for you. And if it hasn't, know that there's a lot of year left. You matter. God loves you. You have a good one. Be blessed.